Put it on the poll, Guillermo, at LeBatard Show. Is the jury still out on whether Jason Tatum is going to become
win around here.
Kevin Durant? Let's do
Did I break news telling you Al Horford's still playing and playing for the Celtics?
Let's playing well for the Celtics.
He is
playing well for the Celtics is where it is that you broke the news. Go ahead and...
It is time for Stugotz to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
Dan, after losing 2 straight games by a combined score of 81-33 and losing their rookie quarterback for 2 to 4 weeks, things looked as bleak as they've ever been. But with a scintillating performance by quarterback Mike White that led to a victory over the Cincinnati Bengals and left us all confused, Dan, make no mistake about it. For the second time this season, the New York Jets are back. It's exciting. So confusing. Speaking of Cincinnati, University of Cincinnati, 31-12. Ain't gonna cut it. Well. Look what the Canes found. A quarterback. That's... You never know where you're going to find a quarterback, Dan. You never know.
That's what you're betting on with Mike White.
That's all I have left.
Say reason to hope.
You like this Canes quarterback, huh?
He throws the ball around in a way that has been surprising me. I believe I said 3 weeks ago, there's no way they beat Pittsburgh.
I'm glad you brought that up. Dan.
Did you forget that I said it?
I told you Pitt wasn't any good. I said Pitt wasn't any good. You gave one of those dismissive laughs you like to give and said Pitt was very good. I said they weren't. You said they were. It was terrible sports radio. I can play the tape back for you if you like.
Pitt's good. Pitt is good.
They're not good.
Their quarterback is one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
Is the U back then?
That safety should have counted.
They're
also, you want your pound of flesh for the Pitt take, yet you're skating on your Sparty shit.
What do you mean?
You've been taking the Sparty out all season long, and that was a huge comeback win for them.
Sparty party. They'll lose. You know what the P in Pitt stands for? Please. The Jets have beaten the Titans and the Bengals. Football.
I want to be clear on your...
How is that possible?
I want to be clear on your college football analysis. Is it if you lose, you're not good? Is that it? If you lose a game, you're not good. Because you're still saying Michigan State's not good, and they haven't lost a game. You're giving us a promise of a future lost game.
Oh, they're going to lose. Big time. All those Big Ten schools are going to lose.
But if you lose, you're not good. If you lose one time, you're not good. But Cincinnati's also not good because 31-12 is not good enough.
That's not going to slice it, Dan.
Okay, so it's not.
Dan, they are playing for style points. And when you beat a 1-win Tulane team 31-12, that ain't going to cut it. It's not.
Is Cincinnati in your top 4 tonight when the new playoff committee rankings come out?
Absolutely not.
Top 10?
Find out this Friday on God Bless Football. BCS reveals its second rankings of the season. How about that?
I don't have them in my top 4.
That's a terrible tease.
Where do you have them?
Well, Billy, I do have my top 10 predictions of what will happen tonight when the committee releases their rankings.
You have 10 predictions.
You have 10. Wow.
I mean, I could do like my top 8.
After weekend observations.
Oh, in between. I don't care.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
Yeah, just go for it.
Number 10, Notre Dame.
Great. Perfect.
They're ranked 10th?
They have one loss to the number 7 team, Cincinnati. At the time, they were ranked 7. Number 9, Wake Forest, undefeated.
You have them at 9.
I have them at 9. If they win out, if they win the ACC, they have to be in. A undefeated conference champion has to make the playoff.
Okay.
Number 8, Michigan. They have one loss to Michigan State. Michigan State, spoiler alert, in my top 4. Number 7, Cincinnati.
Low.
Not because I want them to be 7. This is where I think the committee will put them. I don't think the committee wants them in the top 4. They have one quality win against Notre Dame. The rest of their schedule, they will not probably be playing any more ranked teams.
And they're lacking style points.
They're lacking style points right now. The Navy game, yikes.
No, you had to do that.
Number 6.
Well, you don't want Cincinnati playing Georgia. You don't really want.
I do.
You can't put too many points on
I'm
Navy.
happy for Cincinnati. I want them in the Final Four. I don't think they're going to be in the top 4 tonight. This is my prediction. This
But
is
they're
not
not gonna.
me.
But they're not gonna move up. They're
Exactly. That's why I don't think the committee is going to put
Yeah.
them in the top 4 because then they're going to be stuck there. Because if they win out, then they're not going to get usurped by someone else.
Oh, so this isn't you. This is what you think.
is what I
This
think
is what the
gonna happen.
committee's going to do. Yes.
Ah.
Yeah. Not
So
what
all
she
the
would do.
Cincinnati fans listening, all 6 of you. I'm just kidding. Haha. We kid. Love Cincinnati. Number 6, Oregon.
Do you love Cincinnati?
I'm so happy for Cincinnati. Oregon, Ohio State. This is going to be interesting tonight where they rank them because Oregon has a loss to Stanford, but they have a head-to-head win over Ohio State. Ohio State, number 5.
Whoa.
That's low.
Again, this is your
Yeah.
predictions?
My predictions.
Okay.
Ohio
Nice.
State, if they win out, they have 1 loss to Oregon. They've beaten the number 20 team, Penn State. They're going to have to play at Michigan State and Michigan.
No idea how Oregon lost that football game against Stanford. There's a team
Football.
that people would be talking about Oregon with Ohio State in the conversation after having beaten Ohio State. You can make the argument outside of Texas A&M, it was the biggest win in the sport this season. Oregon's got a loss there that Mario Cristobal should be dragged for. It's inexplicable how they lost that football
They might
game.
have the best win of the season, though, at Ohio State.
They might
I
have
mean,
the worst loss of the season.
Texas A&M has the
Exactly.
best one.
That's why.
Oh, yeah, Alabama.
This is
You're
going
right.
to be an
Sorry.
interesting place where the committee puts Oregon and Ohio State.
We said all of that.
Michigan
already.
State's
I did
4.
say
bet
all
you
of that.
anything.
Number 4, Alabama.
Wow.
They have 1 loss to Texas A&M, but they have 3 ranked wins, so they're at number 4. I think the committee wants them in. If they win against Georgia in the SEC championship, automatic in. Number 3, Oklahoma.
What happened,
Thank
Billy?
you.
Why are you making faces?
Why did you say Michigan State was in the top 4 if they're going to be in the top 2?
Because the 4 are the ones that make the playoff, Billy. The top 2
These are
just
not
the
her
1 and 2
predictions.
seed.
She's predicting what the committee will do.
4 is the important number here. Like you want to be in the top 4. The
just wanna
top
get in the
Michigan
tournament.
State is going to be in the top 2 in your predictions?
They are. They should be.
Oklahoma, this is why. Oklahoma's at 3 because they have a win over the number 21 team, Texas, who I believe will be unranked, who is unranked now because they lost another game. They blew a lead against Baylor this weekend. So they don't really have any quality wins, even though they're 8-0 right now.
Quality losses for the Miami Hurricanes, who have statistically the most difficult schedule of the college football
They're
season.
number 12.
They're not in my top 10.
They're back.
Number 2, Michigan State. They have a quality win over Michigan this weekend. Number 6, and I think the committee will put them high because they're going to have to play against Ohio State before the season's out. So there's going to be opportunity for movement there between Ohio State and Michigan
So they
State.
could potentially be number 2 before they play Purdue? Oh, yes.
Yep.
Number 1, Georgia.
Wasn't a lot of suspense there with number 1.
Good contributions, Dad. Appreciate your contributions.
That was a
No
great
problem.
one.
Happy to do it.
You have to. Yeah, you have to sing
with
it.
your
Yeah.
observations.
Georgia.
Or I have revised my top 5 Heisman list.
Oh, my God.
There's
Go
also
to it
use the
now.
sound montage.
Oh, my
we first
God.
just
Go
say-
to all of them.
Can we first just say how much it stinks for Cincinnati? So you're basically just saying, hey, you can go undefeated and you're just screwed.
Well, they need
Yeah.
Notre Dame to win out.
I mean, it's just like, but like, why are we doing this? If
Yeah.
someone like that,
Such a good question.
They beat Notre Dame,
Such
and
a
they're
good
going
question.
Now
undefeated.
Notre Dame's relevant.
Such a good
now
question.
Notre Dame's relevant. When Cincinnati wants to make in the top 4, Notre Dame's a good
But
quality
you're
win. But
basically-
when Notre Dame wants to be in the top 4, well, it doesn't matter because you're Notre Dame. You're irrelevant.
Is this the committee saying that or you saying
That sounded like you.
Yeah.
That
This
sounded
is
more
people
like
who
you than
tweet
the
at me.
committee. Yes, that didn't
Right.
sound
Well,
like
they're
a
not
lot of
in the
anxiety and angst. For
Top
these people.
5 Heisman picks according to Mike Ryan.
This
Yes,
is
Greg
great.
Cody, you wanted to say something.
I just want to say it's a stone cold fact, and mark my words, there is 0 chance they're going to drop Cincinnati all the way down to 7. Not
They
going to
did
happen.
it last year to Cincinnati. I'm
Not
just
gonna
saying.
happen.
I could be wrong. These are my predictions based off of what we've seen the committee do the last 5
They
or
haven't
6
lost a
years.
game in 2 years.
even if they put Cincinnati at 4, I could see their wins the rest of the season are not going to be impressive. People are going to leapfrog them.
You
They're
guys aren't
screwed
agreed.
either way.
Agreed.
No.
Jess is wrong.
No.
Why would- like,
Greg
if I'm
gave
the-
a stone cold fact.
Yes.
God
Give us
bless
your top
football.
10 then, Stugotz.
You want my top 10? Friday. God
Probably
bless
worse than
football.
mine.
Yeah. God
Number
bless
5,
football.
I'm so curious if Pickett's fallen out of Mike's top 5 and Walker must be climbing. He must be.
Dan, Kenny Pickett has dropped out of the top.
Wow.
He's not the only one. Malik Willis of Liberty and also Matt Corral of Ole Miss. They have also dropped out of my top 5. Welcome back, Bryce Young at number 5.
Excellent.
Now, I said to win the Heisman, you have to go undefeated if you're playing quarterback for Alabama. I'm sorry. And that still remains true, but he's number 5 for now. He can go to New York and make the trip. Dan, I have an announcement to make. 2 Georgia defensive players are in my top 5 Heisman candidate
They should
list.
all be. It should just be their defensive line.
Well, there's 11 players playing on that defense. and this is a top 5. So I'm going with number 4. He had a monster game against Florida, which sits at 4-4, and I believe Stugotz still has him as a top 5 team in the country just because they lost to Alabama by 2 points.
Yes.
Nakobe Dean was everywhere on Saturday, dominating. Heisman moment against Florida in the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Nakobe Dean, number 4.
Is Dan Mullen going to get fired? Because they're doing that thing now where they're parsing the press conferences.
He's not going to get fired.
He's never cared about recruiting.
He's going to fire his defensive coordinator, pin it on him, and then he'll get one more season.
But they asked Mullen about recruiting, and he's like, don't talk to me about it. Talk to me after the season. While Kirby Smart is being quoted, and obviously he's got the players, he's being quoted as saying, you've seen this, right, Stugotz?
Yes.
There is no coach out there that can outcoach recruiting. The best coach to ever coach the game better be a good recruiter because no coaching is going to outcoach players.
That is so honest from Kirby Smart, who is not a better coach than Dan Mullen, but a hell of a great recruiter. Much better at that than Dan Mullen is.
It's not entirely true because Dabo doesn't have those recruiting classes and has won championships, but it's pretty damn close to.
Well, Dabo does.
Not top 5 recruiting classes. Not top 5 recruiting classes. Not
Dabo doesn't have those.
I'll check it out. Dabo had some really good recruiting.
But
classes.
Florida has great recruiting classes. The problem is Alabama and Georgia's are better.
Florida's recruiting classes are falling off. And remember what I told you. Everyone's crazy about the supersized SEC with Texas and Oklahoma. The norm is what's happening to Florida right now. It's not a bad team, but they're 4-4. That shit will not fly with people. So maybe too big for their britches. Number 3 in my Heisman list. Welcome another newbie to the top 5. Sam Hartman, quarterback, Wake Forest.
Their offense is overwhelming.
20 completions of 20-plus yards or over in the last month. That's 5 more than the next closest. It's a truly special offense, and he's got wheels.
According to
undefeated.
According to Rivals.com, in 2015 they were 4th, 2016 they were 6th, 2018 they were 8th, 19 they were 9th.
You're talking about Clemson?
Yeah, 20 they were 2nd.
Right. Certainly not Wake Forest, which is why Wake Forest having their best start ever with this quarterback. He deserves to go to New York. Even if they lose a game, Sam Hartman has been incredible, dazzling to watch. Number 2, Jordan Davis, defensive lineman for Georgia. Now, if you watch the line of scrimmage with Georgia games, please do. The passing windows are being clogged because Georgia defensive linemen are lifting offensive linemen into the air, affecting passing windows. I swear to God.
They're overwhelming.
I swear to God.
It's one of the best defenses we've ever seen.
I've seen multiple quarterbacks pump fake because one of their offensive linemen has been lifted up into the air.
They're trampolining. Like they're watching their offensive linemen pop like popcorn.
Best defense I've ever seen. This Georgia defense. And I'm a fan of the Miami Hurricanes in 01. The Miami Hurricanes, you couldn't throw a ball in the air. It was getting picked off. They had ball hawks. They didn't have the sheer power up front that Georgia has. Miami would beat you with speed. Georgia's got speed and such power. The strongest damn team I've ever seen, I think. And number 1.
Oh, my God. He's climbed to number 1?
Number 1.
A running back. You're kidding me. He's number 1.
KW3. Kenneth Walker III. 5 touchdowns. 197 yards on the ground in a monster game against Michigan. He has 1,194 rushing yards through 8 games. Guys, that is more than Derrick Henry had through 8 games when he won the Heisman. Kenneth Walker III is having a very special season, and I don't care if they lose to Ohio State. I don't care if they lose to Purdue. Kenneth Walker needs to be in New York.
You're very passionate about that.
Statement game.
He is breaking a ton of tackles.
Useless Sam montage?
We can do that tomorrow.
I have a prediction. Mel Tucker's going to LSU.
What?
Whoa.
Let me scratch that off my observations here.
Ooh, what if he holds out and waits till the Dolphins job opens up?
Wow.
Wow.
Why would he do that?
More money?
Who wants that?
He might get more money from Michigan State just by flirting with LSU.
Do you want to continue your weekend observations?
Oh, yeah.
Or did you forget? You're just watching everybody work.
Michigan. Ba. Michigan State. Great win. But just so we're on the same page, your loss is coming. Glad we're on the same page. Sparty. Michigan State. The rare Big Ten game that felt like it was from this century. Congratulations to the Big Ten, who for the first time had something that resembled a track meet. Alabama by 4 touchdowns over Georgia. Book it. Mel Tucker, LSU, collision course. James Franklin. Just so we're on the same page, you just played Ohio State, and next weekend you play Maryland. Games at College Park, by the way, 3:30 kickoff. You are welcome. Georgia, Florida, blue skies above on a beautiful fall Florida day. You know what that is, Dano?
It's Greg Cody looking up.
That's college football. Florida Gator fans who wanted Anthony Richardson. Careful what you wish for. Kenneth Walker III, welcome to the conversation. Remember when people thought Iowa was good? That's always a good time in the season.
I don't feel like everyone
did. They
thought
were number 2 in the country.
and
Stop
what?
it.
And you were doing the thing you do, what you do to all the teams.
I do it every year.
You do it to everybody.
And now you guys are falling for it with Michigan State. I mean,
it's just fun to watch them. It's nice to. I'm not falling for it. It's just I like watching their running back, and I'm happy that they're actually relevant this season.
Dan, the football's been so great. It really has. I mean, there could be a World Series going on right now, and I wouldn't know it.
Because there is.
Georgia's defense is better at offense than Georgia's offense. Also, do it against Alabama. If football doesn't work out, I'm certain Stetson Bennett IV will enjoy running his dad's hedge fund. Next week, CBS Sunday Morning, an in-depth look at yawning. Genius.
I bet you it'll be
so
good.
there.
I bet you it'll be
Jane
good.
Pauley, man.
I bet you it'll be good.
I don't know what that means, Jane Pauley.
You'll be yawning at home. Mike, there's no chance that Georgia dismantles Alabama, right? There's no chance that Georgia.
I just told you what was going to happen.
There's no chance that Georgia gets to look that physically dominant against Alabama, correct?
I'm not telling this Georgia defense they can't do anything.
Are we going to find out if yawning really is contagious?
This Sunday morning.
I bet Alabama's favored.
By a lot.
We went through this. They wouldn't be, I don't think.
10 points.
I bet they will be.
You
Not
don't
by
pay
10,
attention.
but
Well,
For Georgia to lose, I think it would have to be a game like that Clemson game. Clemson, for all the shit you want to talk about their offense, which is deserved, they have a top 3 defense in the nation. That's how you beat Georgia. We don't know how good Stetson Bennett is because he hasn't been called upon. If you drag him into deep water, we'll see what he's made of.
I love that expression.
Why would you do that in a football game?
I love dragging them into deep water.
it's hard enough.
It's so great to drag them into deep water because all of us, all of a sudden, if you're in deep water, that's perilous enough.
Yeah.
But you've been dragged there. It seems like you've been fighting.
Right.
It seems unpleasant.
Stetson Bennett IV is probably in line for running a hedge fund,
Yes.
not a pro career, right?
Mhm.
You don't have to be a pro to be a national champion quarterback. You just have to be situationally good. Craig Krenzel rose to the occasion several times for Ohio State. Can Stetson Bennett do that? He hasn't been forced to yet.
Well, if JT Daniels is healthy, is he going to play it all the rest of the season?
I think Stetson's
I've made a
earned it.
ruling
Yeah.
on JT. He is not better than
Why
Stetson.
did you pronounce Craig Krenzel's name that way?
It's $10 fine.
Is it?
What?
Do I
It's
have it wrong or
Krenzel.
you have it
Krenzel.
wrong?
Did
It's
I call him
Krenzel. You
Krenzel?
called him Krenzel like Denzel Washington.
Tomato.
Krenzel
I
Washington.
pronounce it the way Stephen A. would.
nobody says tomato. That's the weird thing.
That's true.
It
It
is
is true.
Krenzel. I don't know why I did that.
You got caught up. The Rams spent their entire visit to Houston in the red zone. You watch that game?
No, I was stuck.
They were in
with
the red zone the entire
Carolina. I
time.
was stuck with Carolina.
Poor
Atlanta.
Davis Mills again.
But they covered. Houston covers with
Yep.
the back door.
Well, they always
Brevin
do.
Jordan. Hey.
So did Buffalo, thanks to that late TD.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Buffalo covering in that game.
It
If you
was crazy.
bet the Miami Dolphins, you
I had
thought you had
Buffalo.
that
Oh, my
game
God.
the entire game. That
Right.
was what a ridiculous cover.
Yeah.
What's wrong with your tricep, Greg?
I don't know. I'm just my left elbow was really paining me, but I didn't mean it to distract.
Little
Out of
golf
the job.
elbow, tennis
I don't know
elbow,
what it is.
something.
Yeah, weird.
It's not numb, is it?
A little bit.
It's not good.
How are your fingers holding up?
They're here.
Left arm stuff. Everyone out there could lead to a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
Look it up.
Well, that seems.
Don't do
a
that to
sore
you.
I'm telling you,
elbow,
numbness.
for
That's
crying out
anytime I
loud.
get anything in my left arm or hand
Same.
that's like numb.
You're a
I'm like,
young
I'm having
man.
a, I'm,
Same. Same.
I'm just telling you, look it up. There are signs that if you feel numbness in your left arm, as opposed to the right, like it's just kind of, your
Why
heart's on
would
your
you
left
drag
side.
us into this deep
Also,
water?
look out for plaque
Jesus.
buildup.
Plaque buildup?
Yeah,
Yeah.
If you get a lot of plaque in your teeth,
Not good.
And
You
both
might have
ways
heart
before you
issues.
cross the street. Yeah.
For Halloween, the Jets dressed up as a competent football team. I really hope someone is keeping an eye on Dan Campbell. No one loves overtime more than Mike Vrabel. Free football. Carson Wentz did what Carson Wentz does. In that spot, I simply can't believe that Carson Wentz, with his left hand, the W in Wentz stands for righty. Zach Wilson, when you get a chance, look up Wally Pipp. Feels like every Titans game has gone to overtime. OT. I maintain that Mike Vrabel, whose team was winning, loves overtime so much that he was secretly rooting for the Colts to score that final touchdown. LA Rams, congratulations on doing what good football teams do. Buffalo Bills, congratulations on doing what you had to do. The Bengals, unfortunately, don't have much experience playing letdown games. They'll learn. Oh, what will the committee do with the Wake Forest Demon Deacons if they go undefeated? The Deeks. Dan, Virginia had to go to Provo, Utah on Saturday night, and BYU scored 68 points on them. As I told you about a month ago, along with the 3 Cheetah Strip Club locations in South Florida, it's one of the 4 most dangerous places to visit on a Saturday night in America. I hope someone checked on all those kids. There's a pretty good chance some of the Cavaliers didn't make it home. Josh Johnson is a Jet. Trevor Siemian is a Saint. The LA Rams traded for Von Miller. And you, of course, know what that means, right, Dan?
They're all in.
It means they're going for it right now. If they were playing poker, do you know what the Rams would be doing, Dan?
All in.
There, you got it. You must know what mode they're in, Dan.
They're playing for it all right now, Stugotz.
They're in win now mode, Dan. I will not move on with the college football season until someone can explain to me how Ohio State and Oregon have the same record. Oregon won the head-to-head on the road at the Horseshoe, yet Ohio State is still ranked ahead of Oregon. How the hell is that possible? Speaking of health or problems, Dan, those are the weekend observations.